Hey guys, I'm Dimension Jumper. Today I'll be reviewing Turf Wars, which is the second episode in the Spider-Man Cities That Never Sleep DLC, which was released back in November of 2018. Now, this is a continuation of the City That Never Sleeps, and the main plot of this particular episode is that both Yuri and Spider-Man team up to try and take down Hammerhead, but during that mission, Yuri loses a bunch of basically loses the squad that are trying to take down Hammerhead, and this makes her go into a blind rage and try and kill Hammerhead herself. And it's basically Spider-Man trying to, I believe, if I remember correctly, stop Yuri from doing that. And I would say this is more interesting. I would say this is a more darker story than the heist, because up until that point because like with the heist we didn't really see that much of Hammerhead. We only saw, I believe, him towards the end of that story, and then in Turf Wars we get to see more of Hammerhead, and he feels a lot more threatening, because in the previous episode he quote unquote, well, it basically destroys Felicia's, aka Black Cat's, apartment when she goes back there and stuff, and even though there was like a sort of threat, I feel like he's more threatening in this episode than he was in the previous one. And I do like how Yuri changes from like being this sort of someone who's been helping Spider-Man throughout a lot of the main story in the original game, and then she just suddenly snaps and turns and just wants, I believe, vengeance or something like that, and just wants to make Hammerhead feel fear. I believe the same fear that she felt when he killed all of the squad members that she had led to stop him. And yeah, I think it's a nice, interesting way of looking at it, and it's fine. I would say I would still prefer the heist over Turf Wars, because I feel like that's probably my favourite one out of the three episodes of The City That Never Sleeps. But I do enjoy this as well. I do enjoy Turf Wars. I think it's a nice, interesting way of expanding the story, and I do like how Hammerhead is getting more and more powerful, because in the heist you only see him in his like normal. You see him in like you just see him normally like once towards the end of that, and then I believe towards the end of Turf Wars, you see him more in this sort of mechanical kind of suit, and that makes him more powerful, more intimidating, and something, and a person that you want to try and stop. And that's quite interesting, and I think it's a nice sort of way of building up a character and making him more powerful. And also when you're not playing the main story of Turf Wars, Screwball is back. You do more Screwball missions, which is nice. And again, not a big fan of the gadget missions. I'm not really a big fan of those missions. I do like the other ones though, the other missions you get to do with Screwball. But again, not a big fan of the gadget missions, because it's just use two gadgets when I'm used to using just either one or two gadgets, and it's fun. But it feels a bit overwhelmed, I would say. It feels like it shouldn't be there, but it's okay, I guess. It's fine, but I do prefer the other Screwball missions that are brought into the DLC. So yeah, and I would say overall that Turf Wars is a nice continuation of The City That Never Sleeps from the heist, because it's ramping up towards that final confrontation with Hammerhead, which I'll talk about in when I get to the Silver Linings episode. So yeah, I would say Turf Wars is a fine continuation of the heist and the city, and it's a nice continuation and expansion of the city that never sleeps as a whole. So yeah, so that's been my review for Turf Wars. I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.